The night England burned, the sky itself turned red. Villages were swallowed by fire. Roman banners tore through the countryside like blades through silk. Horses screamed. Children hid in the shadows. Men knelt in chains. And on a hill overlooking the chaos, a woman stood in silence, her long hair whipped by the wind, her eyes burning with a fury that could rival the flames below. Her name was Boudica, and Rome had made the greatest mistake in its empire's history. They thought England was conquered. They thought the tribes were broken. They thought the people would bow forever. They were wrong. Very wrong. Years before the fires, before the bloodshed, before history would whisper her name in fear, Boudica was a queen, not of marble halls, but of forests, rivers, and iron-willed people. She ruled beside her husband, King Brutalized of the Isni tribe, a client king under Roman rule. Rome allowed him to rule, but only because it benefited them. When Brutalized died, everything changed. Rome didn't honor his will. Rome didn't respect his family. Rome didn't respect his kingdom. Roman soldiers stormed the palace. They seized the lands. They took the wealth. They flogged Boudica in front of her people. They violated her daughters. They humiliated the royal bloodline. In public, not as punishment, but as a message. You are nothing. That was the day the queen died, and the warrior was born. Boudica didn't cry. She didn't beg. She didn't kneel. She stood in silence, and in that silence, something ancient awoke, something savage, something unstoppable, something primal. She traveled from tribe to tribe, speaking not as a queen, but as a mother, a woman, and a symbol of rage. Her words weren't poetry. They were fire. They took our lands. They took our children. They took our dignity. Now we take their empire. And the tribes listened. Not dozens, not hundreds, tens of thousands. Warriors gathered. Farmers took up spears. Hunters sharpened blades. Mothers sent sons to war. Fathers kissed daughters goodbye. This was no longer rebellion. This was reckoning. The Roman cities fell one by one. Camulodunum burned first, the Roman stronghold, the symbol of occupation. Temples collapsed. Statues of Roman emperors were ripped down and shattered. Soldiers were slaughtered. Colonists fled in terror. Then came Londinium, modern London, the heart of Roman trade, the jewel of occupation. Boudica's armies swept through it like a storm of death. Fire consumed the streets. Smoke darkened the sky. The river turned red with blood. Rome's grip on Britain was breaking. City after city fell. Empire after empire trembled. For the first time in centuries, Rome was afraid. And in the middle of this rising storm, in the heart of the story, as the fires burned and history reshaped itself, let me pause for a moment. If you are enjoying this story, please give a like and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this deserve to live to be told and to be remembered. Boudica did not fight like a general. She fought like a force of nature. She rode a war chariot into battle, her daughters beside her, her hair flowing like a banner of vengeance. Her voice carried across the battlefield like thunder. Her presence alone shattered enemy morale. She didn't promise glory. She promised justice. She didn't promise survival. She promised meaning. Her army believed in her not because she wore a crown, but because she carried their pain. But Rome does not fall easily. The Roman governor, Suetonius Paulinus, gathered his legions, trained soldiers, disciplined formations, cold strategy. Where Boudica had numbers, Rome had tactics. Where she had fury, Rome had formation. The final battle came on a narrow road, a place where her massive army could not surround them. The Roman legions formed walls of shields. Spears struck in rhythm. Arrows fell like rain. Tribal warriors charged, and Rome held. Wave after wave crashed against Roman steel, and slowly the tide turned. The battlefield became a slaughter, not a fight, not a war, a massacre. Boudica saw it. She knew. The dream was dying. The rebellion was breaking. The fire was fading. But her spirit did not. Captured queens become trophies. Broken queens become warnings. Boudica would be neither. Legend says she took poison. Not in fear, not in defeat, but in defiance. Her body fell. Her name did not. Rome rebuilt the cities. Rome restored its power. Rome rewrote history. But they could never erase her. Because some legends are too powerful to kill. Some names become symbols. Some women become myths. Today, she stands in stone near the Thames, a warrior queen frozen in bronze, riding her chariot forever, facing the city that once burned in her name. Not as a ruler, not as a victim, but as a reminder that empires fall, that power shifts, that even the mightiest forces can be challenged, and that one woman, fueled by injustice, can shake the greatest empire in human history. They called her a barbarian. They called her savage. They called her rebel. History calls her something else. The warrior queen of England. And long after Rome faded into dust, her fire still burns.